Good morning, everybody. It's Miss Kathy. Have you heard any adults talking about what if this, what if that, when it comes to talking about going back to school? Do they sound very anxious and upset, and are they making you feel anxious and upset about going back to school? Do you say to your friends, but what if, and are we going to be able to do this and all this other stuff? So much stress and anxiety about going back to school, so many what if. But you know what? You know what you should say when you hear that what if. There's no question, there's no doubt in my mind what I should do. Give it to God, right? Do this action, because when we give it to God, take it from our head, put it in our hearts, give it to God, God gives us something back. And we get that victory, we get that V for victory. In the Bible, it talks about when I am weak, when I'm feeling weak, which with fears, with stress, with worries, with anxiety, that's when God can be strong for us. He can give us our strength. I have a Bible verse I want to read to you. Let's see. It's 2 Corinthians 12. It's our big Bible. Remember where we go to seek and find God? But he said to me, my grace, which means how much he loves us, the things he does for us because he loves us, is sufficient for you. For my power, God's power, is made perfect when we're weak. That's when God's power is perfect. It's the perfect answer to everything. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness. I will say, you know what? I'm kind of glad that I'm weak right now, that I'm afraid and that I'm stressed and worried, because I know where I can go for the cure. Go to God. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weakness, in insults, in hardship, in persecutions, and difficulties. For when I am weak, then in God I am strong. Otherwise, if we forget, if we just keep, oh no, what's gonna happen? If we keep doing that, we are going to stay weak. But if we give it to God, we're going to feel his power. And the more we give things to God, the more we feel his power, the more we're going to go to God. If we never go to God and just be worried, that's all we're going to do, because we don't have any results. We don't have any answer. We just keep being in our sad, being in our scared, being in our worried. We keep those in our forefront of our mind instead of go to God. Remember, we have our I believe bag? That's where you have to go. The things that we put in our I believe bag, we have to believe them. It's like, okay, I'm going to pretend I'm talking to someone about going back to school. Oh my gosh, I'm so afraid. I don't know what I'm going to do. And wouldn't it be nice if the other person says, wait a minute, I thought you believed in God. Yes, I do, but we haven't had Sunday school. But you've had some videos to listen to help you through things that are hard. And what did those videos tell you? They told me to go to God. They told me I have to take it out of my head and put it in my heart and take it to God. Yes, so why aren't you doing that? I don't know. And that's what I say to myself too. When I get myself so right, it starts spinning around in my head. They call it the snowball. It starts little and it gets bigger and bigger until I don't know how to handle it. I have no way of handling this, and it's just horrible. Go to God. It's not horrible. It's amazing. In the Bible, it's saying, be happy when those things happen, because then you remember, I got a God. I got God to help me. I believe God's power is going to help me. Isn't that amazing? Go to God because I believe God can help me. We've been talking about this on the videos. It's been almost a year since I started doing the videos. Can you believe that? I don't believe it. I want to go back and look at some of them because, I want to see if my thoughts have changed or if I watched how I learned more and realize the more I think about God, the better I become as a person. I can shine bright so much easier. I can stop things that aren't right that are happening in my life so much sooner. I know how to feel love better. I know how to give love better. It's just so exciting. And that's just from when we started and said, I believe. Even though sometimes it's hard, just by saying it, but I'm going to believe. Just like if we do the opposite, I'm afraid. But I don't have to be afraid, but that's okay. I want to be afraid. Which way would you rather be? I believe. I'm a little concerned because I don't quite get it, but I'm going to believe. That's much better, isn't it, than saying, I'm afraid. I know there's other ways I could be, but I'm going to stay afraid. Let's stop doing that. And with school starting, let's just do what we're told we're supposed to do because we have to. We trust in God for everything, but because we're younger and there's other people in charge, we have to trust them and believe them too. All right? But the final person that we trust and believe in is God. So if someone is saying something you think isn't quite right, but you're supposed to trust them and believe them, give it to God. And God says, yes, I think you should do what they're telling you to do. He's the final word. All right? So let's see. I want to make sure that I got everything. Oh, I forgot to say words that I know you know. When we go to God, He gives us superpowers. Remember we talked about that. Don't we want superpowers? Go to God. Ask Him to help you, and He'll give you superpowers. Oh, because God is stronger than any fear. He's stronger than any worry. He's stronger than any anxiety, and He's stronger than any stress that we have in our lives. We can go to Him and trust that He is stronger and He can help us. All right? So, one funny thing with my piano students, a lot of times we'll turn the page and the piece will have new skills for them. And they'll go, oh, that looks hard. I give them a little, remember, I think I told you this, I give them a little on the back of the head and say, remember, it's not hard, it's a new challenge. Think of any of these what ifs, any of these fears are a challenge. And just like in piano, I tell them it will not be a challenge if you practice. Practice it, practice it, practice it, and pretty soon it's easy. All right, it's a challenge, but it can become easy. It's a challenge for us to think of going to God. Isn't that crazy? When He has all the answers, all the strength that we need, everything that we need, God has and is willing to give us if we go to Him. It takes practice, all right? Because the world keeps us spinning. The world keeps that snowball going. All those things, we have to practice going to God. And you know what? We can shine bright when we hear mom or dad or even a friend talking about, oh, I don't know what to do when school starts. I'm afraid what's going to happen. I don't want to have to wear that mask every day. And all those things are a challenge. But with practice And with our moms and dads and friends, we can say, go to God. God has all the answers. God has all the power. When we are weak, they'll be so surprised to hear that. When we are weak, Mom, when we are weak, Dad, we go to God because He is strong. We can shine bright. Any age, God can say, I have a job for you. And that job is to make sure your mom and dad don't get anxious or afraid. Just like I want you to help yourself to keep from being anxious and afraid, I want you to help your parents. When you are weak, I am strong. All right? And then before we do our song, which I think maybe you know what song it's going to be, there's a psalm, in Psalm 14, number 5. I want to read that again. Again, a seek and find place for God. But I trust in your unfailing love. We can trust God because He always loves us no matter what. My heart rejoices because of that. I will sing to the Lord, for He has been good to me. And I know God is good because when I go to Him, He lifts my heart. He lifts my fears. He takes my anxiety away. He has superpowers, and He puts them on me so that I can shine bright for Him. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. He gives me the might to fight for the right. He gives me the victory too. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. There's nothing my God cannot do. For you too, Mom and Dad, go to God. Shine bright and tell them, go to God, Mom. Give it to God, all right? Because we worry, and it adds not 1 minute to our life. It takes away from our life. When we give it to God, we get a life because we don't have to worry. He is in control. When we're not in control, that's when we get stressed and we worry. But we don't have to worry. We don't have to be in control because God is. Go to God. Mom, Dad, best friend, don't be worried. Don't be afraid. Go to God. Believe that He is going to make things well and good for us because He loves us. Don't believe that it could be bad. Believe that it's going to be good. I love you, and I hope you're not worried or afraid or stressed out or anything about going back to school. I hope you're going to God so that you can shine bright and have a smile on your face because you believe that going to God is going to be the answer. I love you so much. Mwah. Can't wait to see you. Bye.